No matter what your financial goals are, most of them are going to require you to increase your income. If you're trying to, pay off debt or save for a house down payment or just put a little bit more extra into those investments, we can all agree that having more money is going to help make that dream a reality. I decided that I wouldn't just tell you how to do this, right? That would be totally no fun on my part. So instead, I decided to show you through my own actions. I signed up for Instacart to be a grocery deliverer, and I wanted to take a moment this week to share my thoughts and ultimately give you a great review of my results. At the end of this episode, you will see how Instacart could be the gateway for you to achieve your financial goals faster. Let's get to it.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror. Where future success is reflected in our knowledge of fixing the one thing we can control, ourselves.
Hey, what's going on? Hopefully everyone is having a great week, great weekend, and it is time for another week of the Financial Mirror, and I could not tell you how excited I am to bring you this episode. If you just want to see my excitement, there it is, right there on the screen. You can see my excitement. That is me so ecstatic to bring you this episode, mostly because of the simple fact that I really had a great time with Instacart, first and foremost. So spoiler alert. And I thought that it would be phenomenal to give you sort of my review of Instacart and results. I'm sure many of you out there have heard of Instacart. I'm sure many of you maybe have even thought about doing Instacart. And I think that this episode will bring you maybe a little bit more confidence in yourself or a little more clarity in how Instacart could help you get to your financial goals. I think that this review will be very thorough to a point where you should have a very good baseline of how you feel about your situation and could this really be something that's beneficial to you. So with all this excitement, I've got to jump in. I've got to get started because I cannot contain everything that's inside of me that wants to tell you so much. I'm going to try to prevent this from being just me just being all gushy and gaga over Instacart, but I could not be happier with the results, and I want to show you that. So the reason that I am so adamant about this and the reason why I decided to take on this journey was because I wanted to talk about the one thing that you can control, right? You have the ultimate ability to control what? Your income. Like you have total ability to control your income, and most people don't think so. And when I talk to people and I try to tell them you can make more money than you are currently making, it's mind-blowing. People don't really believe me, or they don't really see how. How can I make more money? Well, the biggest problem with people when we think about income is that people think of income only as their W-2 employer. What is getting, direct deposited or sent, if they're receiving a check or whatever, what am I receiving? And that's considered the only type of income I'm allowed to have in the minds of most. So what I wanted to do was obviously bring you a little bit more clarity around other methods that, you could ultimately increase your income without giving up a job, without doing anything, just taking a little bit of extra time to do so. And the results are astounding. It really is. It's just really crazy how much extra you could bring in with something like Instacart. And that's the biggest part that I want you to take away from this is that you can make more money and you are in control of doing it. So the reasons that you may find this applicable is pretty straightforward, right? People have their own financial goals. People have their own ideas of what they want to get out of life. And this doesn't have to be a long-term thing. This can be sort of what they're wanting as of right now, and more short term, like maybe saving for a down payment on a home. That could be a simple thing that may take you 6 months, that may take you a year, but we're not talking a decade. We're not talking 10 years from now. We're talking like these shorter term goals, like paying off your debt or saving for a home or building up that emergency fund a little bit more, or just sticking some extra into investments to go towards your retirement. These are all things. Now, the investment thing, obviously that could be more of a long term because that should be a continuous effort. However, if early on you want to try to fund that thing and just pound out as much of it as you can early on, something like this increase in income is how you can do it. That's a method. So what I wanted to do was take sort of, depending on what your goal is, right? There's multiple reasons that this may be applicable to you and your situation, but I wanted you to think about and find what is a reason that this could help you. And everyone's reason is going to be different. I thought that, why not share with you my reason? Because I obviously had a reason. I would have loved to just done this to say, hey, look what I did. This is what I did, and so can you. That's not really applicable. That's not really helpful. That's not the reason that I did this. More importantly, I wanted to show you that I, as well as you, have financial goals, and sometimes different things push us to want to to drive us to achieve those financial goals. For me, this time around, I jumped on board and wanted to jump into this Instacart thing. So first off, I could test the waters, and then I could make recommendations to you if you are a listener and you're eager to increase your income. I thought, what better way to do it than to do it myself. But second off, I have a goal. So if you keep up with the Financial Mirror at all, you'll know that I have recently got engaged. And the biggest thing for me was I decided that I wanted to save for our wedding, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to take away from all the other things that we're working towards financially, all the other goals we have. I didn't want to take away from that. So the reason I jumped on Instacart, my why for this whole entire thing, was I had a dream that we would pay for our wedding without altering our investments, our savings, our any kind of emergency funds that we've built up, all of these things, and never touch those, but still be able to pay for a wedding, right? Never stop investing in all those things, but still be able to pay for a wedding. So Instacart, it shined its light, and I was like, let me just give it a shot. Let me give it a try. And the best part about this whole entire journey was that my fiance was on board as well. So she has done an amazing job contributing just as much as I have. And everything I'm going to discuss today is my results. Everything that I'm looking at today is my results. However, I want you to know that she has results too, and it's going towards this same effort we're putting in and going towards this. But ultimately, the goal is to pay for our wedding with Instacart income. So at the end of this, we want to look at our wedding and say, wow, this was completely funded with Instacart. I made jokes with her saying, it's going to be the greatest thing to look at. And, you see your wedding and all the things that went into it. But we know that when that happens, we can look at it on that day and be like, wow, we didn't have to take away from any of our other goals, our other financial aspirations to make this happen, right? We still got to get everything that we wanted. We still got to have a wedding. Everyone was able to enjoy, so forth and so on. But we didn't have to take away from those movements that we were making in our personal lives, and in a relational standpoint. We didn't have to take away from all that to make the wedding happen. And I have to say that will bring a whole new meaning, later in life, when you don't have to look back on this and be like, wow, if I had that money now, right? We can look at it and say, well, we just, and we traded off our time. Currently, we're trading off our time to make this happen, right? Like, we have this time and we're devoting it to Instacart, and it'll pay off in the long run. And I think that that's a great way to look at it. I've done episodes on it before. But ultimately, if you have time and you can convert it to money, increasing your income, you're going to be in a better position later on down the road. But it's all about how much is your time worth. So if you can create income off of that time, it only makes sense if you have a goal to make it happen. And that goal could be anything: paying off debt, saving up for a house, building a emergency fund, whatever the case may be. You don't have to do Instacart forever. Like, I'm not telling you to do a full-time job. Now, I will say there's a ton of opportunity out there to do a full-time job with Instacart. I will throw that out there early, but not going to be all about that. This is more about, for people that are maybe want to do this more short term, or maybe do it as a side hustle to get some stability under themselves. This will be great. There's multiple reasons that you can benefit from Instacart, and no matter what your why is, I want to give you my real life review of Instacart. So first off, I want to set the stage so that we can sort of have everything understood right up front. So first off, for those that don't know me personally, I do computer networking for a living, and throughout this whole entire time of doing Instacart, I did not make this a full-time job. I just want to say that up front. I continued working my W-2 40-hour, per week job, and I was still able to utilize time outside of that to do this. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is this. Some nights I did not get home till, late because I was out fulfilling these delivery orders. So if you are single, this could require you to meal prep, as getting home late at night and then having to try to throw something together for dinner is not very it's not very much fun, right? That'd be kind of difficult. And if you are married, this is why it's important to get your spouse on board. Is normally me and my fiance, we split cooking nights, right? So she's the better cook. So every once in a while, she'll put up with my nasty food to not have to cook. But she has taken on all the cooking for the nights that I'm doing Instacart. So I don't have to worry about food when I get home. Like, she's taking care of that piece. But ultimately, getting on the same page is very important. And if you're going to do this, understand you both, if you're single, this is not as big of a thing because you can sort of be motivated by yourself. But if you have a spouse, you've got to both be on board and understand the value in this. You can't just be doing it on your own. You'll feel like you're grinding to the end of no tunnel, or to a tunnel with no end. I said that all backwards. But you've got to have both parties on board. You have to all be in it. You have to all be wanting to contribute. And that's very important. Okay. That's super duper important. Finally, the last thing to set the stage right is not all the orders are easy. And I've got to say that up front. Sometimes Instacart orders can get stressful, and that this could be a stress caused by you being in traffic. Because obviously people are ordering groceries and you're delivering them, and it could be for a variety of reasons. I can think back to when I've ordered using Instacart before as a recipient. And it was when I was on crutches and I couldn't walk. I couldn't drive my car. So I needed someone to bring me groceries, right? And that was a convenient thing for me. But for others, they may be ordering because they don't want to sit in the traffic. So they're going to pay you to sit in the traffic for them, because that might be something that when they do a cost benefit to themselves, they don't want to do it. So they're just going to pay you to do it. And that's fine. But you have to understand that you may be sitting in traffic, you may be in crowded stores, and you simply may not be able to find what the person ordered, and they're not responding. And you're asking them, is this replacement okay? And they're not responding. Okay. And I'll try to get off my soapbox. But if you're ordering something on a delivery service, help the deliverer out, be responsive, pay attention to, when it tells you, notifies you, say, hey, so-and-so shopping for you. And then all of a sudden, I send my little custom greeting like, hey, I'll let you know if I have any problems, just I'll hit you up. Otherwise I'll be shopping. And then when I can't find what you're looking for and you're not helping me out, tell me what to get, I'm trying to get what I would get for myself. Right. But, I'll get off my soapbox anyways. The other thing, so you're obviously everything's not going to be easy. Okay. You're going to be doing Instacart. Things are going to get stressful. Sometimes it's super, super mellow. But the key is to figure out your area. And do what keeps it stress-free for you. So for me, I stay out of Honolulu if I can. It can be busy, it's crowded, it stresses me out. I don't want to volunteer my time to be in Honolulu stressed. Will I always be that lucky? No. If I get stuck down there, I'll do it. But, because sometimes we just have to do things that we don't, particularly enjoy. But I try to stay away from there. So I sort of stay on the outskirts because they're better to me. And yours might be different. So depending on where you live at, depending on what your Instacart market looks like, what stresses you out or what your stressors are, if you can determine those early and you stay away from those, it makes Instacart a whole lot more fun. So what I want you to know about the app. So I want to start off with the app because I think that this is sort of where my review kicks in. Like, I've given you my stressors, I've given you all these things, but I think the app is a great leadway to how this all works. So I want to show you the layout, I want to show you the batch, how that process works, and then go through that with you. So I've got a couple of screenshots. So when you open up your phone, this is what it looks like. Actually, I've got my phone right here, so I'll show you. So this is what it looks like, and if you are looking, you can see, ta-da. Can you see that? Yep, you see it, kinda. Yep, so that's what it looks like. You can see it on the screen. But you just hit go online. Once you are, looking at the screen, you can see all these stores. You can see everything in the area. You just hit go online. When that happens, you end up getting to a screen that shows you this. These are some batches. Let's see. Let's go online real quick. Let's see if we see a batch on here. Look at that. I've just got one batch popped up right there. Boom. So I have one available batch currently. Obviously, I'm not going to accept it. So you can see on the screen, I took screenshots ahead of time so that you could see them. But you're going to get, whether it be one available batch or you're going to see two available batches or whatever, you're going to see the batch. So what that means to you is that you get to pick the batch that you want. So if there's multiple batches, you can pick which one you want to do. You can see a lot about, I'll show you this in just a second, but you can see where the pickup at and where the delivery is at. You can see everything about it. You can see what's in the batch. But the most important part right here is that you can pick from a list of batches. The most I've seen available to me to pick from is 11. So I had 11 batches to choose from. Each of those dollar amounts that you see on the screen, the $13, the $20, all of those individually, that's how much you will profit after completing that batch. That's the gross income that you will receive from completing that batch. The biggest thing to look at is you can see how many items. I don't really look at units so much. The units is obviously you could have 4 items, but 8 units, and it could be 2 of every item, right? So I really just look at the items because when I'm looking at items, going into a store and I go to that item. Now, if it was one item, 20 units, well, I've only got to go shop technically for one item. I just got to grab 20 of them off the shelf, right? You see how that makes sense? So I'm looking at items. I'm not really looking at units as much. I'm mostly looking at the items and going from there. So if I pick a batch, let's say, no matter what the batch is, I pick a batch, I open it up. This is what I see. I see all the items that are in that batch. I see where the store is located on the map, and I see the house that I'm delivering to, notated by the little black circle with the white house shape inside of it. That's where I'm delivering to. This is important because if you're picking up in somewhere, like if I'm picking up in Honolulu and I have to deliver to somewhere miles and miles away, and I look at the money and I'm like, okay, that's not really worth it to me. Well, that's fine. Don't pick that batch. And I think that's what's so phenomenal about Instacart. I think that's the part that they really got right in this, is because every single batch is selective. It's competitive because someone could take it right from you. If you're sitting there, well, I don't know if I want to do this one or not. Well, yeah, somebody's just going to take it from you. So you got to be a little quick. You got to know what you want. You got to set your standards. What am I looking for? For me, it's less than 20 items. I don't want more than 20 items. But if I can do less than 20, I'm happy. And I don't want I want the deliveries to keep me in areas that are, less stressful. That's my criteria. And if I can accomplish that, I'm good. So it's very quick. So if I looked at this and I was like, those items, I'm not very familiar with them. Those might take me a while to find or whatever. That's fine. Skip off of that batch. You don't have to do that one. So go back to the screen before, right? And all of a sudden look at another one. And you're just sitting there going back and forth, looking like, this is how I look, back and forth, just clicking on a batch, seeing what's inside of it, seeing where I'm delivering to, and then going with it if I want it. And that's what's so awesome is you get to pick every single part of your Instacart experience just by the batch that you select. Now, the other thing I wanted to review and tell you about is that sometimes you'll have 2 shops, 1 deliver. Meaning, you're going, or 1 shop, 2 deliver. That means you're going to go to 1 store and you're going to buy for 2 people, and you have to sort of separate those in your cart. You have to ring them up separately. You have to go to 2 different houses after that store, and those can pay out pretty good. The problem is that they can get pretty big in number of items and units because of the fact you're buying for 2 people. Normally, Instacart does compensate you pretty well for those, so worth looking at. Now, earnings. I know that's what you were caring about, is earnings. So this is mine so I took this screenshot, and this is mine from this week. Okay. This is mine from this week, and I'm going to go into some pretty good detail with you momentarily, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is. If you're wanting to save up this money for investments, you can cash out. If you're paying off debt, you can cash out. Like every single week you could cash out, right? So you don't have to wait for a pay stub. You don't have to wait for anything. It's going to automatically cash you out anyways if you just let it sit there. But if you want to cash out every week, go for it. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide when you're going to cash out. And I think that's what's so phenomenal is depending on what your goals are, depending on what you've got going on, you have the decision and you have the opportunity to cash out when you so feel like. Now, the next thing, when you're signing up for Instacart, make sure you sign up with a promotion. So starting off, if you're going to get started with Instacart, please have someone refer you. This benefits you as much as it's going to benefit them, if not more than them. And I'm telling you, so I've got my referral code on the screen. I also left a link in the bottom. If you do want to sign up, use my referral code, and that's just an automatic, easy way for you to get this benefit. Now, the reason why I said it benefits you if more than them most likely is I'll show you this. If you need, if you do the referral, you will get a benefit. So if you read mine, it says refer a friend in Oahu and you'll get $200 if they complete 30 batches. Plus they'll make at least $450 plus tips. That's crucial. You're going to make a minimum of $450 plus all of your tips, which would put you at probably, if I had to guess, about $550 to $600 off of your first 30 batches, which is phenomenal, right? So it's free money. You benefit because you make free money off doing the batches. If you sign up like me, I made a huge mistake and I did not sign up with a referral link by anyone, and I missed out on money because I didn't do that. Now, when I got my fiance on board and she signed up, I got $300 when she completed 30 batches, and guess what? She got $675 plus her tips. I think she ended up with like $800 or something after completing 30 batches, right? That's phenomenal. She did that in 8 days of working, and she didn't do, in those 8 days, she averaged, roughly 4 hours a day on average, right? 8 days. So in 32 hours, she made about $800. And that's amazing. That's truly amazing. And you can do it too. So Obviously, I benefit if you sign up with my referral link and you do your 30 batches or whatever it tells you the current promotion is. I'll benefit because I'll make money off of referring you, but you benefit the most. You get all of the money. You get extra money for going and completing that promotional bonus. So it's crucial for you as much as it is for whoever's referring you. Now, my first month results. I know you wanted to see it, so here they are. My first month of doing Instacart started on January the 11th. You can see on the screen. And since then, I've grossed $1,181 in 47 hours of working. 47 hours. So I've done Instacart for 14 days, and I've averaged roughly 3.3 hours a day. Okay, because I remember I'm working my full-time job too. I'm doing this afterwards. So I was able to squeeze out 3.3 hours a day on average for 14 days. So here's what I want to ask you, and I want to start off with this. If I said you can make an extra $1,000 a month for 3 hours a day for 2 weeks, you get that? So for 2 weeks, for 3 hours a day, you can make extra $1,000 a month. So double that. 4 weeks for 3 hours a day, and you're making an extra $2,000 a month, right? If I told you could do that, would you do it? Well, I hope that strikes a nerve, because exactly what I did. For 3 hours a month, or 3 hours a day for 2 weeks straight, I made $1,000. Not exactly 2 weeks straight, but for 2 weeks total, made $1,000. Think about where you can find roughly 3 hours a day. And what if you could turn those 3 hours a day into more income? And that's what you can do. That's what Instacart can help you do. And that increase in income can help you pay off your debt faster. It can help you save for your down payment faster. It can help you build your emergency fund faster. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down right there. Like, it's very important, and it's very easy to do, honestly. You're converting 3 hours of your time that you're probably spending behind a TV, or you're probably spending doing some other hobby that you could put off for a couple weeks to get to where you want to be. But you can do whatever it is you need to do. And Instacart is an easy way to do it. And I am here to tell you and show you that that's possible. So this is a little spreadsheet I put together. So you can, I was tracking, I wanted to see how many miles I was driving a day. I wanted to see how much I was paying per gallon of gas, what my average miles per gallon was. I was going through all that. I was trying to calculate my per hour rate. So right now, based off my money and hours worked, I'm averaging about $39.62 an hour. That's with some promotions in there too. So that's obviously going to come down a little bit as any promotions end. My net, I'm tracking my taxes, and then I'll go over tax benefits in just a second, but you can see this is extremely beneficial. The other thing about this is that I've thoroughly enjoyed while doing Instacart is I have finished multiple books on audio format, and I've caught up on multiple podcasts while doing it, because think about it. You're just shopping. I have headphones on. I'm listening to whatever I want that's going to increase my knowledge. That increase in knowledge is going to help you in all facets of life. So that's going to, if you want to get better at, XYZ, to better your normal W-2 job, and you just listen to books and you listen to podcasts and you learn more, you will be better at your job. Like, that's been proven time and time again. So Instacart not only is going to bring you money, but it's going to bring you knowledge as you're getting paid to deliver these groceries. Like, it's really all kinds of benefits, all kinds of wins. And then the last benefit is your tax benefits. So the last thing I want to cover is tax benefits. And you have two options when you're looking at taxes for this. So you saw on the last screen how I was tracking the taxes, but you have two options when you're looking at yourself as a Instacart delivery driver. So you can take the standard deduction, which is 58.5 cents per mile currently, or you can itemize and track your individual expenses. So if you're like me, you're probably wanting to choose whichever one's best, right? Whichever one puts you in the best position for taxes. Well, I know you're just like me, and that's what you want to do. So I'm tracking both, and I am going to use those to file my taxes with the better of the two. So this does take more work because you have to track them, obviously, but it's really not that much work, okay? You just track them, and whichever one gives you the best tax benefit, that's what you go with. And you can see some of the things. So if you your gas, you need to keep up with how much you're spending on gas for Instacart. This isn't you're not writing off all of your gas. You're writing off what you spend on for Instacart. However, percentage of the time you use your vehicle driving for Instacart, you're going to take that and use for your insurance, right? So that's going to be utilized for that. If you need car washes because you're delivering groceries or something spills or something like that, you need a car wash, you're going to do that. Your oil change, you're going to need that because you need your car to do this. Your new tires, your rotating, your balance, your everything, your alignments, everything, brakes, whatever it is, then you need your car for Instacart. So those are benefits to doing this because all of those can add up as tax write-offs. So for the standard deduction or the itemized total, whichever one of those is the biggest, that's the one I'm going to go with. I can't tell you which one's going to be the biggest yet because I'm not at the end of my Instacart time. But as of right now, it looks like itemized is going to do me the best currently. Finally, I do want to say this as I'm wrapping this up, is I'm not a tax advisor and I'm not here to tell you how to do your taxes. So please consult your personal tax professional, how you can handle your personal tax situation, and they can probably give you the same thing. They can probably do the math for you to say this is your best bet for your taxes. What I am telling you is that there are many expenses that you are already going to pay for your car that with Instacart you can use now as tax write-offs. I am telling you that. So it's beneficial. Instacart has done nothing but great things for me. I have made money. We are on our way to paying off that wedding and having everything paid for cash through Instacart. Everything is going good. I will do a wrap up at the end of this. I absolutely 1,000% will show you my final results when I'm done with Instacart, but I'm currently still doing it. I will do it as soon as this episode is over today. I'll do it whenever I get the chance. I want to average. I'm still averaging 3 hours a day, right? 3.3 hours a day is going to land me $1,000 a month. So I've got it, or 2,000 if I do it for every day, right? But that's not feasible. But if you can squeeze out some time and you can make Instacart, a thing for you, you can make some extra money doing it. So I want to wrap this up with this. This is how you can better your situation, okay? The hardest part about doing Instacart is signing up. Once you sign up and you get your card and you get everything you need to do it, is really not bad. It's really easy. It's an easy way for you to make money and better your finances, which in the end will make it all worth it. It truly will. So if you want to really get control of your finances, if you want to really start driving a lot of those financial goals and move to them faster, I'm dead serious. Instacart could be an answer to those dreams, right? And I'm not telling you this just so I can tell you Instacart's going to make you a millionaire, because it's not. It itself is not going to make you a millionaire. However, doing things like this, committing your time to convert it to cash, that will set you up to be a millionaire. You will become a millionaire. It's a matter of time. Important is that you are already a millionaire in your thoughts. Think about yourself as a millionaire and you will become a millionaire. Do things like Instacart, things that nobody else wants to do. If I told someone I was doing Instacart, they'd probably look at me like I was crazy. Like, what? You make enough money. You've got this, you've got that. Why do you need to do Instacart? And that's the reaction you're going to get. That's the reaction you're going to get. But when you're willing to do the things that no one else is willing to do to achieve your financial goals, you will get there faster. If you're in debt, Instacart could help you eliminate it. If you're ready to buy a house, Instacart could help you get that down payment. If you're trying to build an emergency fund, Instacart can help you build your emergency fund faster, getting you on the road to your next financial goal. If you're trying to get rid of your house payment and have no bills except for your utilities, you need more income to do that, and Instacart can be that income. So this is a huge thing, and it's super easy to do. You can do it on your own time. If you don't feel like doing it that day, don't do it. Do it the next day. Do it the next day. but you're in control of when you can do it. And that's the amazing part. So finally, I want to say this. If you are just getting started and you want help getting a tracker put together for your Instacart, if you want help, making sure you're on track with your plans, a financial coach could easily be what you need to make that happen. So if you're ready to take control of your finances, ensuring you're on the right track to your financial goals, I will be there and I will help you build out your plan to achieve those financial goals. Just go over to my website, go to thefinancialmirror.org and hit that book now right there on the main screen. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your computer. It'll walk you through. It'll set you up and you will be on my calendar and ready to create whatever it is that you need for your financial goals. And then finally, the other thing, if you do want to give an extra boost of support for the Financial Mirror, just go over to thefinancialmirror.org/shop and pick you up some awesome Financial Mirror gear. There's a ton of new stuff in there. I actually just got this shirt in from test. I've been testing out a couple of items. I've got this hat that I just got in. But really cool items that are on there. Go check it out. It always is great, and it helps build the stream and helps continue to improve it. So I truly appreciate everyone tuning in. I really hope that you were able to get something from this. I hope you enjoyed my Instacart review. If you have any other questions, you can always go to thefinancialmirror.org, scroll down to the bottom, that contact form, and you can contact me directly. If you jump on this Instacart thing and you really do enjoy it and you're having great success with it, throw a comment in the section below. It really does. It can help motivate some others that are out there that may be a little hesitant to jump into it, but show and tell them how successful you have been with Instacart. So if you're listening to this, I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with all those people that you absolutely love and wish the best for. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. And the written comment truly goes a long ways on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Till next week, continue improving the one thing you can control, yourself. Peace.
Well, that wraps up today's Financial Mirror. Join us next week as we continue to work on ourselves, change our mentality, and to commit to achieving the success we always envisioned. Regardless of your platform, help us grow as a community. Please like, subscribe, and share with the people in your lives.